back to Nerd Thug Radio! I'm Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
And I'm the intern.
I just like to do fun stuff.
We'll call it fun.
As always, nerdthugradio.com. All kinds of fun stuff there. Past guests.
Check us out.
Links to all the past shows, photos, chances to buy our t-shirts.
Yeah.
Links to the blogs. I've started my Savage of the Week.
Oh.
I'm going to put up every Monday. That started last week. It was the
You brought it back, huh?
It was the Miami Dolphins line coach was the Savage of the Week.
Oh, so you're not doing Savage Babes anymore?
No, I'm just doing Savage of the Week.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And then and it's just a short little excerpt, little quick.
I like it.
Takes you 5 minutes.
I like it.
Look soon for the DLG rant of the week.
Yes.
Coming.
That is coming. That is coming.
Blogs there. Kai's got a new blog out about scary video games, and I believe Chris has just put one up too. So hey, we're rolling there.
Boop, boop.
So off camera, DLG, we were when BMAC was in earlier, we were kind of goofing off about different things that have happened in the movie theaters.
Right. And we were telling the story.
What's etiquette. So just tell the story of we're here recording and there's music playing outside and DLG couldn't hear it.
Right.
And I was like, no, it's there. You're just deaf. He's like, oh yeah, I am deaf in this left ear.
Right.
And then it spurned this story, which has spurned this segment.
Right.
Start us off.
So I was on a date in a movie theater one time, and I get elbowed about halfway through the movie. She's sitting on my left, and I didn't think about it. I'm used to it. I make adjustments. I live accordingly.
Right.
I don't hear my left ear. Had a cyst inside my head. They took it out. The hearing bones went with it. I woke up deaf in my left ear.
Dun dun dun.
So she's sitting on my left side. I get this elbow about halfway through the movie, though, and she's like, "Are you really just going to ignore me this whole movie?" And I hadn't heard a word she had said. And apparently she's been asking me questions and talking to me about this movie the whole time.
My thought process is, did she not pay attention before the movie starts? You don't talk during a movie.
Yeah, and I'm big on that. I'm big on the no talking during the movie.
I'm huge on that, unless the movie really stinks and everyone knows it.
Right.
And
Like,
everyone's cracking jokes.
for example, I saw a preview for the new Medea.
Ugh.
And my first thought was like, are the tickets going to be cheaper for this? Because it's clearly not going to be as good as a real movie.
No, those movies are dumb.
They do. And this is
My mom loves them, though.
and this is the Medea Halloween thing. So this is like a Halloween spoof with Medea in it. It's
Tyler
like
Perry.
Tyler Perry is just asking for like,
Money.
it's like he set up a Patreon and was like, everyone just send me $8.
Like, Medea goes to prison. They were plays, right? They were like stage plays at first.
The first
I
one
believe-
was Diary of a Mad Black Woman was...
a stage
play,
play,
a
right?
play, yeah.
And then it just spurned off Medea. She was in that, right?
Right.
Yeah, she was the side character, and he plays like 3 different characters.
It was
in the movie.
great. And it was
Right.
good. And then now it's like this big...
And-
it's like Land Before Time 12.
And
There's
essentially,
11 of
it
them.
is right. And essentially, Tyler Perry has created. He's the largest independent studio, I think, pre-Marvel.
Pre-Marvel.
And like he had built his own set where he also used that set to film his TV shows and his movies. So like he was doing everything out of this one place, and it kind of built it up and built it out. And I remember Oprah came and got the tour when she started her own network. That was one of her
network?
first big interviews. Was the Tyler Perry
You know
interview?
she's been on the cover of O Magazine for like 5 years in a row?
Undefeated.
Undefeated, bro.
Undefeated. It helps that she owns it.
Right, it does.
But undefeated. So Tyler Perry comes on there and he's got the whole thing, and he really has built this empire out of making. I mean, for what I'm going to say, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but essentially black films.
Right.
Like it's about the black family structure. It's about their situations
to a
and their
market.
movie. Yeah. And
Fair
so
enough.
he's the only, and really he's the only black filmmaker in town. Like by all means,
Besides Spike Lee?
when was the last time Spike Lee made a movie?
don't know.
I mean, he's essentially at this point Knicks ticket holder. Spike
That's
Lee.
it. That's all he does. Who's Spike Lee? Oh, is he that guy that's always at the Knicks game?
Yep, that's
Nailed
him.
it.
That's him. He used to make movies. Ask Janet Jackson about it.
Ooh, yeah.
But so basically, at this point, you know, Tyler Perry's the only game in town that caters to that crowd, and so he's built up this following.
Yeah, why not?
But that movie looks awful.
The only time I really talked a bunch during a movie is I went on a date. I was like 16, 17 at the time, and it was when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out. And so like I was
First of all, that's like a 3-hour movie.
I was semi-dating this white chick that was really into kung fu and like the Asian theme of
Okay,
stuff.
all right. And you were her yellow fever
I guess.
solution?
We
I don't
worked
understand
together
that.
and we were both liked rap music.
Okay.
And we were white, so it worked, I guess.
You two, I'm getting a mental picture right now. Jinkos. That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say.
No, I never owned a pair of Jinkos. My mom wouldn't let me. I wore Dickies. So anyways,
My mom
yeah,
bought me one pair of Jinkos.
never had them. And so we went to this movie, and it's subtitled because it's all in
Right.
Yeah,
and it's
whatever.
also 3 hours long.
And I mean, the movie's okay, but there wasn't a whole lot of people in there. And so we were just cracking jokes the whole time. I was like, any minute, Tupac is going to show up in this film. I just know it. It's a pretty successful date, though. I tell you what, my jokes worked that time.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Popcorn bucket.
Woo!
But I'm trying to think. So one time I went to Alamo Draft House with a buddy of mine.
Yeah, that's a good place.
And they were doing like a fun. They had cut Titanic down to an hour and a half. And
Yeah.
they had these 2 improv comics.
Yeah, those are cool.
And they were basically like, "Hey, if you got a joke, shout it out. Have a good time. We're all here hanging out." And so I didn't have anything to say during Titanic because they were pretty funny. Also, it was cut surprisingly well. And so, but then flip it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, they're like, "Hey, we need to use the room for a bunch of." We found a bunch of old tapes.
Okay.
And we need to use the room to put these, to just watch and screen them because we don't have another screen to shoot on right now.
Okay.
That's free. You guys are free to hang out. We don't know where these are from. We don't know what these are. So if you see something you recognize or a person you know so that we can IMDb it, shout it out. So I kind of felt like this was like an open atmosphere setting.
Right.
So they're putting these different movies on, and I'm making jokes during what's going on. And one of them's like a Western. And I made a couple they were pretty good.
Yeah.
And my buddy who's with me, though, eventually he leans over and he goes, "I don't think we're still doing the joke thing." And I was like, "Wait, seriously?" And he was like, "Yeah, legitimately, I don't believe we're supposed to be doing that." But like no one had looked at me or said anything or given me like the scoff.
Yeah.
Or like, and the guys who were actively watching these to try and figure out what they are, like none of them looked back at me like, "Who's this bozo?" So I think I was in the clear,
Right.
But he was definitely like, he definitely was like,
was very awkward.
Yeah, he was like, "I don't think we're doing the joke thing anymore."
Man, one of my favorite movie stories. It was during the day, and so this is whenever I think I was in college. I had to be in college. It was me and a couple buddies, and I can't say the name of the film because I don't think I can say this word on air. But it's the films that Johnny Knoxville and Bam and all them made, right?
I hate those.
I love those.
I hate those.
I love those movies.
Those are fun movies.
And so I think it was.
That's what's wrong with your generation, and that's what was wrong with our generation.
I want to say it was.
Is that we embraced that?
I want to say it was part 3.
So that was the worst one.
It was awesome.
That was the one with the bungee in the porta potty.
That was great.
It was terrible.
And so we go in and we sit and we're in the back, and it's me and my 2 buddies, and there's 2 elderly couples, like halfway in there, and then on the very bottom, right?
Right.
And like 5 minutes into the movie, they get up and walk out. And in my head, I'm like, you saw the title of the movie,
Right.
Why would you buy the?
Maybe they
tickets
were in the
to
wrong
this?
theater.
I
Maybe
don't
they
know.
went in the wrong one.
But then we had the whole theater to ourselves, so it was like super awesome.
So the movie where I had that happen was the movie Crash.
Okay.
If you remember that, it was a very racially charged movie. A lot of comments get made in that movie. A lot of things are said. Some hateful, some angry, but it's a movie about race.
Right.
And so some things go down in the movie. So while the movie's going on, after one of the comments gets made, this couple gets up and walks out.
Right.
And in my head, I was like, well, I mean, the previews do a good job of
Telling you what
kind of explaining
going
what
on.
Yeah, like people aren't watching this movie going, what's the story here? So to me, it was a little odd that people were getting up at that. Also, The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou.
That movie's great.
I love it.
I love those movies. That one, Royal Tenenbaums.
So I took a bunch of my buddies to see that. I was like, you guys are going to love this movie. This guy is
hated
hilarious. All of them hated it. One of the Riddler got up and left. Everyone was like, the Riddler was the smart one, and we blame you for that.
I like Wes Anderson's movies.
I do too. And like,
all good.
I realize now it takes a degree, like
The Royal Tenenbaums.
takes a type
Life
of person.
Aquatic, Darjeeling Limited.
Right. They're not open
Grand
to everybody.
Budapest Hotel.
Yep.
Oh my god,
That's a great one.
Oh my, I love
Great
that
one.
movie.
Great one.
But so it takes a
was a
certain type of
remix right
person.
there.
I know, I saw
You
that.
like that?
That's going to wind up in a YouTube mashup.
Great one.
But so it takes a certain type of person to do, like, to get into those. You got to be in a certain mood to enjoy a Wes Anderson.
So a lot of the movies that you mentioned in your top 3s are like action films,
Right.
and like mainstream type movies.
Right.
Besides all of my Marvel and superhero movies, I very much like the independent and the weird movies.
Like the El Mariachis.
Yeah, just the weird stuff.
Right.
And so I love those Wes Anderson stuff, man.
Yeah, no, and
So
they're good. They are good. But yeah, everybody wanted to watch. Like everyone hated The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
so good.
And it was great.
love that movie.
I was dying laughing with all my friends glaring at me.
It's because they're not smart enough.
It probably made it better that all my friends were glaring at me.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friend I am.
They weren't smart enough to get that humor.
No, it just wasn't their bit. And I like in hindsight, it wasn't their bit. Like there are other things we could have gone and seen.
What's the worst movie, real quick, we got a couple minutes. What's the worst movie you bought a ticket to go see?
The Last Airbender.
I've got a tie.
Okay. All right,
I've
that's
got a
pretty
tie.
bad.
I've
I
got a tie.
You go ahead and do yours because I'm trying to think of like I very rarely hate a movie I go to see.
I went and bought tickets to see Drumline.
Okay.
And Step Up.
Why?
I think Drumline. Step Up. My best friend Mike Castro. Shout out, what up? Him and his girl really wanted to see that movie.
And you just like tagged them
so
along?
I was like, okay, I'll bring a date. Fine, let's go watch it. And it was horrible.
Right.
And Drumline, just because I play drums, was like, oh, this could be a good movie. This sounds awesome. Those aren't movies you buy tickets to. Those are movies you
catch on TV.
DVD.
Right. Those are movies when TBS airs them you watch.
All right, come on. What's yours?
I'm trying to think like of a movie that like I was really disappointed. There's been a couple horror movies that I was not scared of at all that I really thought were stupid. That like The Ring. The Ring was one that I watched all the way through the theater and was like,
I saw that one too. And
that was it. That was the whole thing.
That's a shtick.
The girl comes out of the TV. Great. Moving on.
Yeah.
Not scared. Also, one that went the other way was that skater movie that Heath Ledger's in, and a couple
Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
So a couple of people dragged me to it, and I was like, I'm not that interested. Thought it was great. They hated it because they were ready, like they had built it up, and I had no expectations going in. My $8 was happy. Theirs was not.
Well, I hope you were happy with this show episode 78 of Nerd Thug Radio. As always, you can catch us at nerdthugradio.com. The podcast drops tomorrow. We're on YouTube. Just Google us. You'll find us everywhere.
We are everywhere.
And as always, DLG.
Same Nerd Thug time, same Nerd Thug channel.
Nerd Thug Radio.